Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. I'm Michael Finkley. Today is Friday, August 28th, 2020. It's Friday. We made it to Friday. Friday, y'all. Weekend is yours. Don't do anything for other people. Do it for you, okay? All for you. If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Michael Finkley Show and click that bell for notification. And you will send us the email. We will send you an email saying that uploaded content is available. Again, I can't thank y'all enough. Thank you to all viewers, subscribers, future subscribers, future viewers. Thank you for making my dreams come true. I just love this type of thing. You know, I work full time. I have my consulting firm that I do as well, and other things that I do in collaboration with other people. And this is, I tell you, my peace state, right? It's fun to me, you know, when I'm editing videos and all that kind of good stuff. This is fun to me. And again, you make this possible. You, and oh yeah, you made this possible. So thank you so much, and we definitely appreciate you. On today's show, we have Senator Kevin Johnson. He is senator here in the state of South Carolina for District 36. So there's Clarendon County, there's Dillon County, there's Florence and Sumter. So we're going to chat with him, and he just opens up to us about, you know, what drove him to be where he is today and his future plans. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Next, we chat with Senator Kevin Johnson. Don't you go away. On the next Michael Finkley, Monday, we chat with Mr. Corey Beck about his truth in being adopted into a white family and his personal experiences. It's a show you don't want to miss on the next Michael Finkley. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We have a very special guest with us today. I tell you, this man has been in the political arena for decades, and I tell you, he is a person that is a change agent within his community, serving on the school board district, the Manning City Council. He was mayor, House of Representatives. Now he is Senator Kevin Johnson. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We really appreciate you. So, growing up in Kentucky, did you know that you were different? You were a different type of person growing up?
Well, I didn't actually grow up in Kentucky. I was born in Kentucky. My father, of course, was military. Okay. And at the time I was born, he was stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Gotcha. And so that's where I was born. But I actually grew up, with military life. You travel back and forth with him. But when he retired after 21 years, we came back to Manning. So I've been in Manning ever since about 1974. But it was just exciting to grow up in different parts of the country and to get that experience. Yes.
Okay, awesome. And so describe your growing up. I know you said you traveled a lot. So did you think that your upbringing contributed to where you are today in life?
I think so, because what happened, I started, I was born in 1960, so I'm kind of born in the midst of the civil rights era, and where, of course, a lot of segregation and even with the school system. But being a military brat, as they would say, it was different on a military base than it was out in the regular society, where so pretty much, even though we had school segregation, I was going to school with white students and other students, Panamanian, whatever. And then also, when I compare the schools that I went to, at least in my first 8 years or so on the military bases, compared to schools in rural Clarendon County, I think I did receive a better education because we had access to so much more. And even to be able to communicate with students who also travel throughout the country, travel throughout the world, I think it benefited me. I think it prepared me, and I think it kind of gave me a little bit of a step up than if I had just went through school all the way through Clarendon County from first grade. Not being negative against the rural school system, but that's just kind of how it was back there. And to be honest, to some degree, it hadn't changed much even up until now.
Oh, wow, really?
Well, when you look at, as they say, the schools along the I-95 corridor, yep. I just think that we still have in South Carolina where the quality of a student's education depends on the zip code. And that's unfortunate. And hopefully one day we can get around that, where each student, regardless of where they live and go to school, will have a chance to the same type of quality education as their peers from other parts of the state and other parts of the country.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, sir. And your political background and just community service, I see that you're a very strong opponent of education. How did it come about of you joining the school district first and then going on into that political realm that you are in now?
Well, when I was I graduated from the University of South Carolina, and when I was at USC, I worked a part-time job with what was known then as the South Carolina Tax Commission, which is now the South Carolina Department of Revenue, where I worked part-time my last 2 years at USC, and then when I graduated, they offered me a full-time position, and so I was happy to graduate with a good job, and I went down to Beaufort County, and then in 1985, I was allowed to transfer back home. And when I transferred back home at the age of 25, I got involved in a lot of civic affairs, and then I got appointed to things like the library board and the Chamber of Commerce board, and different things like that. And then one thing just led to the other. But for some reason, I always wanted to be a school board member. And I remember when I was in college, actually, or even in high school, my dream at that time was to be a high school English teacher, believe it or not.
Really?
And I wanted to be a school teacher. And that was just something I really wanted to do. And at some point, I think between high school and college, I had a glance at the teacher pay scale, and I knew that was not for me. But was just always interested in public education. So when I had the opportunity to get on the school board back in 1988, that was just, to me, a great joy. And I served there for 12 years. And even to this day, public education is a passion of mine. And all of my colleagues in the South Carolina Senate know that out of all the things we deal with, and we deal with a great deal of things, is that my number one passion is public education in South Carolina.
Awesome. I love this. I love this. And again, it shows. And within your family as well, and your awesome family, your wife and your kids. I see that they are in the running as well when it comes down to the political view. How was that for them in the eye that my dad is this public figure? Did they even know what type of power you had as they were growing up?
I would say that probably not, because that was not the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me, just being completely honest, was service. Yeah. And so I never walked around like, for example, in the school community, like I was the big bad school board member. I remember telling all of my children's teachers, hey, I want you to treat them like you treat every other student.
Right.
And although I'm a school board member, or maybe a school board chairman, we want to be treated like, we don't want any kind of special favoritism. And I think that helped them realize that we want to remain humble, and that for us, it's all about service. And I really wish that everybody had the same attitude, because there are people, just being quite frank, that when they aspire to and reach a certain level, it's sort of, I would say, it goes to their head. And I just believe in remaining grounded, because I tell folks in our area, things that are big around Clarendon County is hunting, fishing, playing golf. I don't do any of that. My thing is public service, and so that's what it's all about. And I think that most of the people, if not all, will say readily that I haven't changed. I've achieved a lot, but I'm still grounded. And I think that's just where I was brought up.
Yes, definitely, and it shows. And again, you pass it on to your children.
Right.
And they are in the process now themselves as adults. They're giving back as well through service. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good. It really makes me feel good, because unfortunately, I get to see other children or young people who are making what I would call bad decisions. And so I was talking to somebody today, as a matter of fact, and I said, I said, I've been blessed to the fact that I hadn't had any issues negative wise with any of my three children. Mm-hmm. I said, all these gray hairs I have on top of my head, but none of them are attributed to them, putting us through one thing or the other. They've always been the type of children, or they're adults now, but I'll say children because but they've always been the type that they never were into thinking about going out to different clubs and those types of things or whatever. And even to this day, with them being this year 41, 40, and 30 years of age, they spend a lot of time with us, and we travel together a lot. Just like they're little kids.
Yeah.
And just like even just about every Sunday afternoon, because my two daughters still live in Manning, and we get in the car and just ride around the county, just do things that you would think with them being at their age that they want to be doing things on their own. And so it's been a joy and a pleasure. And like I said, sometimes I feel for some people whose children, for whatever reason, put them through a lot, and we've never had that. And so it's been a blessing, I would say.
I get you. And I had the great opportunity to work with your two daughters while I was at Manning High School. It was a joy to work with them. And again, displaying that service component, it shows through them as well. And dealing with service as well, you serve this District 36 here in South Carolina. Clarendon, Darlington, Florence, and Sumter. How has that been for you within these years of service?
That has been a great experience, especially to serve the district that I serve. And I often tell people that if I had the opportunity, if somebody said, Kevin, you can pick any district you want, I feel like with District 36, I have what I want. It's a great district. It's great people. It's kind of hard sometimes because when you're dealing with 4 counties, you're dealing with 4 county councils, multiple municipal councils, several school districts. So some of my colleagues, because of the density of their population, their entire district is in one part of one county. And here I am stretched across 4 counties, but it gives me a great opportunity, man, to meet good people, to work with great people. And so I enjoy it. I'm not going to say that it's always easy, but as somebody said in the past, the good days far outweigh the bad days. And so we're in an area where people have a lot of issues. They need a lot of help. And so it makes me feel good when somebody can come to me with an issue or a problem and I can resolve it for them. That's a great feeling. And so that's what I'm here for. People know they can call me anytime, and they do. They come to the house, or if I'm one of those guys, I go to the post office, I go to Walmart. So wherever they see me, if they have an issue, I'll do the best I can to resolve it. And when you get a person from point A to point B, it makes them feel good. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, I love it. Yes, sir. So what are your plans now for these 4 different counties that you serve here in South Carolina going forward?
The priority, as I mentioned earlier, especially in my 4-county district, is to make sure that we can have a strong, much improved public education system. We have great leadership in our district. We have a lot of graduates who have gone on and have done great things, but the playing field is not level. And as I said earlier, the quality of the education should not depend on the zip code. And so when we recruit industry to come to South Carolina, I think that more parts of the state should benefit other than just where that particular industry is going, because it takes taxes that all of us pay to get that industry here. So public education will be and needs to be much improved. Another issue in District 36, of course, being along the I-95 corridor, is healthcare. We have to make sure that we have a quality level of healthcare which is affordable for all of our people, which is why I plan to, again, file a bill to expand Medicaid in South Carolina. Expanding Medicaid in South Carolina will provide between 200,000 and 300,000 citizens with affordable quality health care. We have a lot of people who work very hard, but they are low-income jobs, and so they cannot afford health insurance. And so that's going to be another issue. We need to continue to make sure that we have a strong infrastructure system all throughout South Carolina. I still feel like when we have infrastructure dollars, a lot of it spent in certain parts of the state, Greenville, York, Horry, those types of places, and then the highways and roads and bridges and sidewalks in our part of the state go lacking. So hopefully, since we passed the gas tax bill a couple of years ago, hopefully we'll be able to get some things done in our area. But we want to make sure that we have access to a lot of the same things that the richer, more affluent parts of South Carolina have. So we have our work cut out for us. But again, we have a lot of great people throughout the 4 counties working together. Recreation is another thing. So there's a lot of quality of life issues that we can do to improve in District 36.
Love it. I love it. So there's always work to do.
Always a lot of work to do. And what makes a difference, like I said, is having great people to work with, teamwork.
Exactly. And we're trying to elect a great person into this office of president in this coming November. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the election and also future plans, Senator Johnson, for yourself. We'll be right back.
Coming up, we talk about the upcoming election and what are Senator Johnson's future plans. What he tells us here, we'll be right back. The Finkley Experience is an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. We assist parents and their students with the college process. We train school administrators, and we also partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first-generation population. To learn more about our consulting firm and to purchase our book and workbook, please visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We're still chatting with Senator Kevin Johnson of District 36 here in the state of South Carolina. And we left off in talking about the election this November. Senator Johnson, how important is it to vote?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a phrase that's being used, and some people think it's being overused. It's not. And that phrase is this: this is the most consequential election of our lifetime. And that's just not a cliche, that's a fact. We have somehow, to a certain extent, survived these 4 years under the current leadership. But yeah, I just feel like if President Trump gets reelected, it's going to be worse, because then you're talking about him another 4 years where he doesn't have a chance where he can run again for a third term. And so I think he would be pretty much ruthless. Any two times you have a leader, and in this case, a leader of the United States, leader of the free world, and you can't believe anything the man says. I mean, the man, he doesn't tell the truth, even when the things that he's saying that are not true are easily proven to not be true. And so that's the first thing. You got to be able to trust your leadership. The second thing is that he's so divisive, and he doesn't understand that he's the president of the United States of America. He thinks he's the president of his base. Right. Me, for example, I make it very clear. Once I get elected as senator of Senate District 36, I represent everybody. It doesn't matter if they're Republican, Democrat, black, white, whether they supported me or not. Once I'm elected, my job is to represent, to the best of my ability, everybody. He doesn't get that. He thinks that his job is just to look out for his base. And so what we have now, we have instead of a United States of America, we have a divided state of America. And what it does, it makes our country very weak. Our enemies, I tell people all the time, should be people like Russia and China, Iraq, North Korea, Iran. We should not be each other's enemies. And that's what we're living in now. A lot of people determine whether they like you or not, whether you belong to the same party. And that really has, it's been devastating to our country. So what we need to do is go out and vote and elect Vice President Biden and Senator Kamala Harris, because we have got to restore our dignity. We've got to come together more as a country. And I just cannot, and I mean, people just really need to understand how important this is. And whether Joe Biden was your choice or whether Kamala was your, whatever the case may be, we have two choices: Joe Biden or Donald Trump. That's bottom line. And those who for whatever reason decide, well, you know, I don't like the choice, so I'm going to stay home and not vote. Just understand that when you stay home and not vote, you have actually cast your vote for Donald Trump. And so it's just very important. You have things on the line like Supreme Court justices, all these things that people don't think about, that if he gets 4 more years, we're going to be even put that much further behind. It's time to have some decency and some respect and just to have some real leadership in the White House again. We need to have somebody who understand that rules matter, that laws and all, they really matter. And this president we have now, he thinks he's above the law, and he does anything he want to do, and he's doing it, and he's getting away with it. And it would be worse. It would be much worse if he's reelected to another 4-year term. So we're going to be spending our time trying to get people to understand just how very important this election is. I just don't know any other way to put it, but yeah. I think if he gets back in for 4 more years, our democracy will be over with. And again, that plays right into Russia, China, those folks who don't like the fact that we have a strong democracy, and we still, I would assume, we are still the leaders of the world, strongest military, all these type of things that they don't like, and he's playing right into their hands. And there's only one way to bring about improvement, and that's going to be on November 3rd at the ballot box.
Definitely. How can we prepare ourselves, though? for this?
Well, we're going back in session. The Senate is anyway next week, and to try to hopefully do like we did in the primary and to pass a bill to allow every South Carolinian, because of the pandemic, to vote early for any reason.
Right.
And I think that's going to pass, but we need to make sure that everybody who is not registered to vote gets registered, and then we need to make sure that every registered voter vote. You know, a lot of people think it's a tedious process. Voting is very simple. And even if you have to stand in line, we stand in line for everything else. We've stood in line for the latest iPhone, the latest pair of Jordans. We stood in line. I mean, we do it for everything, but there's nothing more important to stand in line and wait for than voting. And as somebody said, that for no other reason, we owe it to our ancestors who went through everything, even to make the ultimate sacrifice so that we could have the right to vote. You know, and the funny thing about it is, and I'm telling you from experience, a lot of times the people who don't vote are the ones who complain most.
The most.
And so
yes.
That's right. And that's ironic, but we need to put all that stuff aside, and we need to do what we need to do. I think the right to vote is probably our most precious right. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse at all that we get out and vote. And that's in every election. And that goes from president all the way down to city council, school board, whatever. It matters. It makes a difference who we have sitting around the table in these positions.
Exactly. Definitely matters. And I feel you've been around that table for a long time, Senator Johnson. So what are some of your future plans for yourself?
Actually, like I said, I've been through several positions, and I'm in the state Senate, which is really an honor. And this year, next month, as a matter of fact, I'll be 60 years old, and I plan on winning in November. Mm-hmm. And so win that election, and hopefully the Lord will see fit to lead me here to finish that term. At the end of that term, I'll be 64. And so I don't really know what other plans I have, except to say that I really enjoy serving in the state Senate. And I'd be very happy if that was the end of my political career. I'm saying in the state Senate. Other folks have asked me about other things, and to be quite honest, I don't have any interest in. I think they're good positions for the right person.
Right.
But my plans are to stay in the South Carolina Senate. And whenever I decide to do anything different, hopefully it'll be just to fully retire. But I just enjoy serving this position, and I don't have any other higher aspirations other than the South Carolina Senate. It really is. When you look at it, there's about 5 million citizens in South Carolina, and there are 46 state senators. So what I'm doing, I have the pleasure and the opportunity to do something in South Carolina that only 45 other people can do, and that's serving the South Carolina Senate. It's a lot of work, but it's good work. As John Lewis said, it's good trouble, because sometimes it is troublesome. Right. But if you do it right, it takes a lot out of you. But like I said, the good days outweigh the bad, and the rewards are, you know, they make you feel like, you know, you're worthwhile.
I love this. Yes, sir, definitely. Encouraging words, Senator Johnson, for someone that is looking up to you in this present moment in time and say, I want to be just like him. What would you say to that individual?
Well, what I would say to people, if you aspire to serve, don't wait until you're ready to do it. Start preparing yourself now, because like me, for example, when I first started out serving on different boards and being involved in civic affairs in the community, I had no idea that I would be where I am now. So what I want to tell other folks, especially young people, prepare yourself, because opportunities are out there. And somebody said one time, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity. I mean, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So prepare yourself. Be involved in your community. Attend as much as you can your city and county council, school board meetings. Our city and county council meetings. Attend your school board meetings. Know your elected officials. Don't wait until you decide I want to run to get to know people. You need to know people first, and they need to know you, because we're talking about voting and how important voting is. And so you want to make sure that people have the feeling or the attitude that voting for you is a wise investment of that vote. And so my thing is just be prepared. I mean, we're going to have so many opportunities that our ancestors and forefathers and foreparents didn't have. So the opportunity is there, but our job is to make sure that we're prepared to take advantage of them. So that would be my advice to people, because people like me and my colleagues and people like Congressman Clyburn, we're not gonna be around forever. Somebody's got to walk in these shoes, and we want to make sure that the people who walk in the shoes are prepared. That's why education is so important. You need to make sure that you're educated. And again, education is one of those things that they could take off, never take your education, and that's the key. It'll take you a lot of places, and so that's my biggest advice to young people that have these aspirations is to make sure you do all you can to be prepared.
Sure. Yes, sir. I could have said it better than myself. Thank you so much, Senator Johnson, for being on today. We really appreciate
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. And anytime I can help, just give me a call.
I sure will. Yes, sir. Thank you.
On the next Michael Finkley, Monday, we chat with Mr. Corey Beck about his truth in being adopted into a white family and his personal experiences. It's a show you don't want to miss on the next Michael Finkley.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you? What did you learn? Comment below. Tell us what's on your mind below in the comments. Senator Johnson, thank you so much for being on. You dropped some awesome information to us. You fed it to us. And I'm telling you, I know that you're going to continuously make a difference in the state of South Carolina. We're rooting for you in November. Thank you so much for being on today. On Monday's show, we will be chatting with Mr. Corey Beck. Now, Corey has a very amazing story. He was adopted at an early age by this white family in the state of New Hampshire. And he opens up to us about his life in this family, right? People that didn't look like him growing up. How did he cope with that? What are some things that you learned? What are some things that you took away from this experience? And I tell you, it's a story like no other. So Monday, see you on Monday. If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring that bell for notification, and you'll receive an email from us saying, hey, content is uploaded. Thank you so much for watching, y'all, and y'all have a good weekend. Just do you, okay? Have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a good one.